25th and 13th is all that he's had, other than a 9th place finish at Uluwatu. So we're going to see this matchup of both rankings as well as stances. De Souza regular foot and Duru, the goofy foot representative.
You'd say, looking at conditions, a lot different in regards to what the criteria will be in play.
Here's our first look at Adriano de Souza, and you wouldn't know anything happened to him from that first turn. Whitewater climb through the second, around this section again, all the way back with that sweeping arc. De Souza, first to get a score, and looking like he's shaking off.
You see split of the peak. Both these waves had scoring potential. The right seemed like it was a little bit better as he combos the big snap to whitewater climb and then Cuddy. And yeah, you would say that if you hadn't seen those images and him getting carried up the sand, you would have absolutely no idea. As here's that first maneuver again, layback snap. I think he was trying to push that one pretty good, and then straight into the whitewater climb. That big vertical approach that he has, that low compressed style.
Wow.
As we see, there's a split of the peak. So this bank we saw yesterday right in front of the tower here, very shallow. It's going to be clean enough on the face to be contestable and fun, but not necessarily going to be the barrels.
Joan Duru on his second wave, utilizing the backhand this time. A couple of S-turns through that beginning section. The wave goes a little bit flat and doesn't offer him the lip to be able to belt through.
Some high performance waves there that was giving these surfers some ability rather than just dropping into hell pits and getting 1s and 2s and maybe an 8 or a 9. We're going to see these types of waves now where we're going to see performance based and looking for waves that are going to run down the line and have those steeper sections. Next swell.
Well, as far as, I mean, riding the wave to connect from the outside peak to the short break.
Yeah, a little different. I don't think it's quite as deep as Honeycomb.
De Souza, and you can see it. Oh, okay. Yeah, clearly in pain, and was able to go front side, but he put some pressure on a different angle on that leg on the backhand, and that certainly triggered something.
Man, that's tough to see.
Making all of these resources available. Joan Duru is going to surf through here, throwing the tail on the left, and he kicks out. Thank you, Strider, and we look forward to any other updates you can bring to us. Thanks for the news. Joan Duru, looks like he's going to surf through this heat without a challenge, but he's going to continue to perform on his backhand.
Well, anybody who has him on his team, you know, he's got to surf. The more points he gets, the better for your team.
That's right. So,
and I know that Joan Duru is in the situation where this is very helpful to get him into round number 3. Still, it doesn't get any easier. Or low seed, like we see from Joan Duru, he's going to come up against one of those competitors that are on fire. As we watch the replay here, beautiful backhand. You know, that's one thing that we've always touched on about Joan Duru, an incredible barrel rider, has great talent above the lip, very experienced. You know, he's been traveling the tour and competing in a lot of events and gets his chance on the championship tour, and he's put in some results. This year has been a bit of a struggle, but he has all those weapons to compete here at this level. Looking at the WSL
rule book, do we run through this entire time period when a surfer's injured out of the water, Peter?
Yeah, because think about it, is if the surfer wants to decide who's injured, wants to decide to go back out, he has that opportunity, or she, depending on the situation. So that's why Joan Duru's got to be very careful here and not, you know, feel like he's just got it in the bag.
Can't let his guard down, especially with someone like Adriano de Souza, who's got a heart of a tiger.
It seems like he got some waves last night, and I mean, some of the best conditions we saw as we watch the replay here. Joan Duru picks up a couple waves back to back. Now his number looks pretty good, 5.83 and a 4.17. So we may see some barrels, I guess, as the tide drops out. We still have, what, a couple more hours before we get to that low.
Heat number 7 of round number 2 as we got called back onto competition. Adriano de Souza out with an injury. Injured himself before the heat, got taped up, went out into the heat, and it looked like his knee just couldn't hold up. So injury, he's out. Joan Duru is the only surfer in the water right now surfing through this Heat 7 of round 2. We're actually going to be giving away one of his replica of his sardine wetsuit. Rip Curl's having a win a trip to Peniche contest, and that's one of the other prizes available to you. As we look at Joan Duru hitting some rhythm on the backhand and pacing well through that wave with a series of beautiful arcs off the top.
I'm liking conditions today for that reason right there. You know, this is typical fun, nice beach break.
Fanny's here.
That's right.
Hopefully we're going to get him talking some story with us as we look at the replay of last of Joan Duru.
This is that backhand we had touched on. See how he waits off the bottom with the backhand. Some of the tricks there is that perfect timing he has. Beautiful rhythm, good flow. That's going to be another good number. Most likely be improving on the 417. And you see how he picked that spot, that most vertical section you can get on that outside section. It slows up here, but kept its energy. So 3 solid turns with a 4th, and going to get a good number for himself.
7-point ride for Joan Duru, so adding to your point total, like you said on Fantasy Surfer.
That's right.
For everyone who put Joan on their team, as well as looking to break the streak of all of the red jerseys that we've seen previous in this round.
At that area, also down in Central America, actually has huge tide swings, and a lot of it has to do with, you know, all the factors that come into play. Coriolis effect, which is the spin of the earth. As you watch this man up again,
Joan Duru, live action, and he is just going to ease his way, sailing into round number 3. And unfortunately, that's at the expense of an injury to Adriano de Souza.
He surfed good, though. Aphrodromic effect, which is something you have to try and remember. It's amphidromic points around the globe, and those are regions that have drastic tides, and sometimes they're close to the equator. So if you want to learn more about it, look it up.
Surfline.com, check it out. Jonathan Warren, thank you for that. We're going to be back with more from Super Tubos. MEO Rip Curl Pro continues.